Alright, so I want to preface this by apologizing for the quality. OBS automatically set its output to 640 by 360, and I did not notice until I recorded about 6 hours. But I enjoyed the game way too much to not upload this, so hopefully you can stick through the blurry text and enjoy the amazing story that is to come in these next few videos. If you can, I appreciate it, and hopefully you can push through the quality. Anyways, here we go. Alright, so welcome everybody back to part 2 of Scarlet Hollow. We just ran away from whatever those things in the woods were. Told her to call the cops, and now my phone's going off. So see what is going on and learn more about whatever these creatures are. You feel a buzz in your pocket. 6 missed calls from Tabitha and 13 text messages. What? Hold on. Can I know what she said? Yikes, Tabitha's been blowing up my phone. Explore. Text her that you're okay. Text her she needs to call her. You try and call Tabitha back, but it goes straight to voicemail. Text her that you're okay. You text Tabitha back to let her know you're okay. Your message sits unread. Tabitha's been blowing up my phone. I guess she must be worried about you. But, first things first, let's call the police. Stella pulls out her phone and dials. Hello, Earl? It's Stella Richmond. I'm up at the mountain on the Asgina Trail. Duke is dead, Earl. Shotgun. It happened right in front of us. There's something in the woods. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we're okay, but hurry. Jesus, Earl. Who's going to tell Bo? I guess now we wait. I probably could have stopped him from dying, but then the dog would have been dead, and, you know. Can't let the dog die. It takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walks 2 officers, Sheriff Hugby, a friendly older man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses despite it being the middle of the night. Already don't trust him. He's in on it. See? Right there. That thing jumps out of the woods and the shotgun goes off. What in Sam hell? What is that? Some kind of Pillsbury Doughboy? Could have been a naked maniac. He's gonna be like a robot voice. As the video reveals the creature's nest, Franklin ever so slightly lowers his sunglasses. Or a whole bunch of naked maniacs. What the heck is that? Some sort of crop circle? They killed Duke! Uh-huh. Now we're gonna have to confiscate this camera, Miss Richmond, if you don't mind. This is evidence. But okay. Let me just turn it off to save the battery. Stella gave in to the request suspiciously easy. Here you go, Deputy Franklin. We appreciate your compliance with the law. We'll get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body, but for now, Sheriff Hugby and I... Please, calm it, Earl. Earl and I will escort you and... Who are you, exactly? That's Josh. He just came into town today for the funeral. Alright, sure. We'll escort you both back to town. If there's a naked maniac on the loose, it's best you don't walk back on your own. It wasn't a... Never mind. Why are you going out there tonight? There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack someone else. Well, it ain't exactly like old Duke's going anywhere at this point. He'll still be out there in the morning. You wouldn't do that even in real life. I mean, there's wild animals in the woods that would eat the body. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Monday nights are Deputy Derek's and bowling nights. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, if you kindly step into the vehicle, we can return you safely to your home. Do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left will be fine. I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist for your own safety. Stella sighs. Okay, thank you. You can ride up front with me, little lady, if that's your mama permits. That is, if your mama permits. What about Stella? She hates being in those wheeled contraptions. Sure, Earl. You can hold Gretchen on the way back to town. Too many voices. The cops usher you and Stella into the back of their squad car. We're not going home. We are going to jail. You're just the cutest little thing, Miss Gretchen. Yes, you are. Sheriff Hugby pats Gretchen on the head affectionately, but she remains wholly focused on Stella, a worried look stretched across her little pug face as Hugby scratches behind her ears. For such a gregarious person, Stella is unusually quiet in the car and as the car makes its way down the pitch-black mountain road. Oh, my poor Stella. Neither one of us much like these awful metal beasts. If only I was able to comfort her. Confounding this old man who reeks of coffee for keeping us apart. Hey, Stella, you good? She doesn't respond. You reach out and you rest your palm gently on her shoulder. She jumps slightly at your touch. You can feel some of her tension ease and hear her let out a self-soothing sigh. I don't think Stella's okay back here, fellas. Oh, I'm sure it's just a little car sickness. She'll be right as rain once we get back to the hill, though she'd best not try to hurl in the meantime. We wouldn't want Franklin here to have to work late cleaning the squad car. We're only a few minutes away now. Y'all better keep it together until then. Soon, the rumble of gravel beneath the tires gives way to uneven pavement, and the car comes to a stop in front of a small cottage. You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. And you, whatever your name was. Josh. Sure. You're in town for the funeral? Good. Don't you go leaving before then. I imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. Y'all have a good night now. Bye-bye, Gretchy. And y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Holy shit. Okay, Stella, why the hell would you ask if we could walk home? Oh. That's gonna be how her parents died. That's a fair question. I just had some bad experiences with cars. I don't know how to drive them, and I don't like getting into them unless it's literally a question of life or death. Which I guess tonight was. Sorry if I weirded you out. God, what a night. They seemed a little blasé about everything. I can't believe they're waiting until the morning to even start looking for him. Who knows what those things are doing to his body right now? I believe that they're well-intentioned, if and only over their heads. And what's worse is, I think they implied that you're a suspect, even after we showed them all of that footage. Even the nest. The truth will get out. Even if they don't believe that footage, those things are out there in the woods. Something's telling me they're not going away. Yeah, no kidding. But it's okay. I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. Nor will I, though I have a little understanding of police work. I was there. I filmed the whole thing. At the very least, it'll never hold up in court. Oh, Stella. That footage is long gone. Never to be seen ever again. And it won't get to that point either, because we're going to do a little investigating of our own. Of course we are. Why leave well enough alone? We survived. Let's just keep going. We got to find out more about those things. If we get clear footage, or better yet, trap one of them, there's no way they can blame you for what happened. The library doesn't open for a while, but I've read every book on cryptids they have and never came across anything like this. There is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. We should head over now, before it gets any later. I know I changed Stella's voice, but once I realized how much I'm going to be having her voice, I'm not going no southern accent, high-pitched voice that's going to wreck my voice. I'm already ruined. So many voices, I'm not going to keep track. I'm so sorry, they're terrible. I'm not good at accents. Her place isn't far. We should head over now before it gets any later. I should check in on Tabitha. I should probably check in on Tabitha. My friend's place is on the way back, and stopping by shouldn't take long. You sure you don't want to stop in first? I know I wouldn't want to head up that mountain road by myself after everything that's happened tonight. When you put it like that, I wanted to go with you. I thought you'd come with me. Awesome, let's go. I'm glad you're sticking around. I'm glad you're sticking it out with us. It's always so nice to have an extra companion. I hope she's still awake. There's something foul creeping up behind us. Josh. Jesus. You and Stella turned to see a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. But we know who that is. Welcome home. Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. You look back and the figure is already gone. Disappeared in the shadow of the night. Sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? And who is this? Hi, Miss Forsyth. This is Josh. Is it okay if we come in? Of course, of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea. And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all. Welcome to my little nook. This place has always been the loveliest This place has always had the loveliest aromas. It's nice to finally meet you, Josh. I was so sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the holler, and now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Who was that outside? Just a very sick man. You don't need to worry about him. We need to worry about him. Like, right now. You knew my mom? Of course, dear. She's a good friend of mine for many years. She was such a lovely woman. You should come by sometime. I can delight you with the unsavory tales of her youth. How did you know that she died? Oh, Pearl Ann was a chatty woman. Not much went on that I wouldn't get an earful of. Bless her heart. I never met Pearl Ann. You don't have to pass on your condolences to me. I have no feelings about the... Okay, no. Not saying that. We need your help. Ah, yes. I suppose pleasantries can wait for another time. What's got you here so late? You seem troubled. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? Go on. Duke was killed tonight by something in the woods. Oh my lord, have you contacted the police? Yes, and they didn't take it very seriously. They're not even looking for the body until tomorrow. Those things out there, I don't even know how to describe them. Here, I can show you. Aha! Okay. That's why you needed to power it off. I was hoping. I was hoping. Stella pulls out a memory card from her sleeve and pops it into her phone. This must have been why she was so quick to hand over her camera. I wasn't about to just let the police hold on to this, at least not before we had a chance to make a copy. Smooth. I'm proud of you, Stella. The cops wouldn't know what to do with that footage anyway. Imagine if they accidentally erased it. Exactly. I'll give it to them if they ask again, but for now, we can examine the footage for ourselves. Sybil, say something, Sybil. Where was this? Up the mountain, to the northwest. Within town limits. Yes, I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? I'd need to plug in the memory card in a computer. I could go back and get mine. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. Kanika? Kanika? Are we seeing Kanika? I can't do the voices. The Southern Belle one is ruining me. I'm gonna have to come up with a new one for the dog. I know it won't be a Southern Belle, but I can't do it in me. It's different every time. You better come with us, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more willing to help a friend than her nosy mother. Kanika, come out, would you? We could use a little help. What, Mom? Oh, hey, Stella. And Gretchen, who's a good potato? Kanika, it is me. I'm the good potato. I most certainly hope I am. That's her voice. What? Her voice is gonna be different every time. And a stranger. What are you doing in my house? I was helping with this video and something terrible happened. I was helping Stella film a video in the woods and something terrible happened. This is Josh, Tabitha's cousin, and he's right. It's serious, Kanika. Duke's dead. We caught it on camera. Jesus Christ! Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. There's more to that footage than Mr. Calloway's untimely demise. Oh, okay. My room's a mess. I'll just bring it out there. Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Stella, what the hell is this? This is far beyond my ability to contribute. I leave the thinking to you humans. I'm sorry either of you had to see this, but Josh and I have no idea how to make heads or tails of it. Sorry for the pause. I'm trying to read who's... I got too many voices going. Stella, are you okay? I'm fine, really. I'm okay. Remain silent. Poor Duke. Poor Beau. Has anyone told him yet? We talked to the police. I hope they told Beau, but Earl and Deputy Franklin didn't seem to be much in a hurry to do anything. I'll call him later tonight, but for now, we have something far more serious to discuss. I agree. Those things are still out there. And as long as they are, more people are in danger. So very true, but not for the reasons you think. My grandmother used to talk about a pile of creatures called ditchlings. She always said they were a terrible omen, a sign of suffering to come. Mom, whatever's going on, this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Josh with this Talipo crap. Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk. She always said they never hurt people, despite that grisly scene in the woods. But Duke is dead. Then if these are ditchlings, his death was an accident. Oh, my grandmother was wrong, and she was very rarely wrong. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see so many in one place. Sybil holds her silence. Jesus, Mom, haven't they already been through enough? It's okay, Kanika. This is helpful. I don't know if it is. Okay, let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to these animals. You saw that nest. What were those growths? All of the infected animals we met felt like they were going insane. The animals called them gardeners, not ditchlings. What? That's upsettingly morbid. That being said, it kind of reflects what they're doing, doesn't it? Did you see all those open wounds at that spiraled nest? It's like they were incubating in the local wildlife. There weren't any growths there, so maybe they're looking at some sort of parasitic larval stage, like really big doughy wasps. Oh dear, I've forgotten entirely about the tea I put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups, it'll soothe your nerves. I don't know, it's getting late. I should let Josh get some rest. I ran him ragged today with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Who would pick? Yeah, I'm gonna go pass out. I don't want to know more about these things. Talk without me. We're not going to bed. We'll die before we go to sleep. I can keep going. I'm still wired. Ha, okay. Maybe it's that I'm eager to get home and start doing some research. I'll ask around on my usual forums to see if anyone has information on ditchlings. Is that what you called them? That's right. Go on home now, and do try to get some rest. Don't stay up all night on the online. Let me get you some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see ya. Bye, Josh. It's excellent iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there. Both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. What an unfortunate short visit. Alrighty, let's call it a night. Mind walking me home? And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I'm torn because I feel like something bad could be happening to Tabitha and she has family. But I did say earlier I'm committing to Stella and we're running out all of the whole Tabitha story or the whole Stella story. So this is a multiple playthrough game that I can have, and I'm super excited, and I don't even care if it gets views or not. I'm really gonna enjoy this game, I feel like, so there's gonna be a lot of videos. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I'm staying the night. Thanks, I'm terrified of being alone tonight. Because then we could do like all Stella, then we can do all Tabitha, ignore Stella, and then maybe we could go out in the woods and then go back to Stella. Or go out with Stella and then go back to Tabitha, or vice versa. Ooh, I'm excited. Sorry, rambling on and on, here I go. Thanks for the offer. I'm terrified of being home alone tonight. Yeah, no kidding. I can't say I was looking forward to it myself. It doesn't take long for Stella to fix up the guest room for you. While it's certainly smaller than its counterpart at the estate, it's far better cared for. It's so exciting to have a second guest. I can't remember the last time we had company. I feel like my... How do I do a Southern Belle? Make yourself at home. Nope. Make yourself at home. You didn't have to do all this. You don't have to worry about that. I'm glad the guest room is finally getting some use. What do you make of all this? Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. Those creatures are out there and Duke is dead. I know that some of the things Sybil said were a little wild, but if she is right and they are an omen, maybe we can change things and stop whatever brought them here before it happens. There has to be a more rational explanation. It couldn't hurt to poke around town. I have the time. Agreed. Who was that guy outside of Sybil's? There was something really off about him. Wayne? I haven't really gotten to know the guy. I think he works in the mine. It might be worth looking into him. I should probably try calling Tabitha. Right, she'd probably like to know you're not dead. Get some rest, Josh. I'll see you in the morning. I'm on the verge of passing out myself. What an exciting, if terrible day. You pull out your phone and call your cousin. It rings for a moment before she picks up. Where the hell have you been? I called you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. Oh, no, we're not starting that up. Do you know anyone named Wayne? Feels slight but palpable hesitation before Tabitha answers. I employ over 100 people. I'm sure I know a Wayne. You hesitated before answering me about Wayne. It's late, Josh. You never come home. It's late, Josh, and you never came home. I'm sorry that your random questions and accusations caught me off guard. Now, are you going to tell me where you've been or not? I saw horrible things tonight. Look, I got suckered into something. It was weird. I met this girl in town and we hit it off. None of your business. I watched a man die tonight. I went into the woods with this girl I met to find some cryptids, and it ended with us watching a man die. Ah, so you met Stella then. Ugh, that explains everything, and she's gotten you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I'll collect you tomorrow. You didn't care about the man dying? From the comfort of Stella's guest bed, the events from the past evening seemed like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe, and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a relaxing week in the mountains with a new friend. It's a nice thought, but deep down, you can't help but worry that the things will only get worse. From behind closed doors, you can faintly hear the sounds of quiet sobs. What is happening? Was this just the introduction? A 2-hour introduction? No frickin' way. I am so excited about this game. At first, I thought it would be like a 3 or 4 hour playthrough with a few options, but Why was there blood? Why was there blood in that room that the door opened in? And I'm assuming that was in our house. So what is she hiding? What happened at the house? Oh, we're gonna be going to the mine shafts. Oh, this game is... Is this game massive? What, is that a room I can go... Like... Am I gonna have to learn how to get in there? And who's playing the damn piano? This is the end of episode 1. Episode 2 awaits. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 2, please save your game now. Would you like to see a recap of episode 1 before you start episode 2? We just finished episode 1, so I think we're all set. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing, you're still alive for now. You're safe. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window in the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. A knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Josh? Oh, hey, Tabby. There's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. Saunter out half-clothed. You might not be fully decent, but you're not about to let that stop you from being a part of this conversation. Ugh, put on some clothes. Morning, how'd you sleep? Gretchen excitedly looks at you and wiggles her tail. I simply must say what a joy it is to see that you're finally up. I do hope you're well rested and that you don't mind our most unfortunate guest. What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up to the woods to film a video. Not that part. The cops called me this morning and told me all about that. They did? What did they say? Did they find Duke? They didn't find a body, if that's what you're asking, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Josh. Ugh, don't worry. I told them you were an upstanding citizen. You should remember that kindness the next time you think about blowing me off to spend the night with a stranger. Hey, don't be so hard on Josh. I asked him to crash here. And look, I don't care what the cop thinks, Tabby. There's something horrible out in those woods. I don't think anybody in this room wanted Josh walking up that horrible mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. You're not going to let her treat my dearest Stella like that, are you, Josh? There was some serious shit went on last night, so Stella stays. Anything that we need to stay as a group, and I'm on her side here. You need to understand what's going on. Stella stays. Come on, Tabby. No berating guests in the Richmond household. Whatever. I don't really care if you're here for this. You've been in town for less than a day, and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you all worked up, and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Well, she cares about me. At least she's worried about me. Or she knows what's going on, and she doesn't want me dying. But she knows what's in the woods. Do you know what's going on, Tabby? Let's see, there is actually something out there. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. We have footage. Oh, for goodness sake, Stella, stop filling my cousin's head with weird ideas. Even if there was truth to that, it's all the more reason to be back to the estate before it gets dark. You get the sense that Tabitha isn't entirely unconvinced by your story. She believes. She believes. She does. I'm leaving. I've already lost a good chunk of my work day coming down here. I expect to see you back at the estate tonight. Wait, Tabby. Well, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? Tabitha's eyes. You're relentless, we'll see, but don't get your hopes up. Hey, you good? Sorry about Tabby, she totally blindsided me. I'm good, I think she means well. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that your feelings don't matter. That was tense. Are you okay? I could care less. I do care what she thinks. I should have stayed. I don't regret anything. I don't regret staying here, but you're right, that sucked. And it's not like I didn't let her know where I was. Last night was a lot. I don't think anyone can blame me for crashing here. Tabby just doesn't get what we went through. Who would, honestly? And for the record, I'm happy you stayed too. Anyways, sorry for that rude awakening. I've been up for a little while, but was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. Why'd the music stop? But you're up now. We got a full day ahead of us if we're going to get to the bottom of this. A full day ahead of us? That sounds like it's walking time to me. Let's explore first. How are you so chipper? You shouldn't be okay right now. I guess I'm just pretty good at compartmentalizing things. What happened out in the woods last night was horrific, but right now we have something important to focus on. I'll have time to process what happened to Duke when we get to the bottom of this thing. More exploring. You shouldn't just bury your feelings like that. What happened to Duke last night would mess with anyone. I get that, but I'm fine, really. At least for now. I can process this in my own time. What if we skipped town? No, we're not skipping town. We're doing this thing. I want to ask the other miners about Wayne. I want to check out the mines at some point today. Maybe some of the miners there can tell us about Wayne. He scared the bejesus out of me last night. Definitely. Kanika's waiting for us at the library, so we should head over there first. But unless we can find something solid on the ditchlings there, the mines seem to be the strongest lead we've got. Oh, let me set up a group chat. What's your number? You and Stella exchange numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads, "Group chat." Anyway, daylight's burning, so let's roll out as soon as you finish getting dressed. Can I eat first? Don't worry about it. I packed all sorts of snacks for the day, and Oscars totally won't mind if we eat at the library. Alright, but those snacks better be good. As if you even need to worry. And we're off. The walk to town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of the Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labeled Town Hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the Town Hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. That and our mayor's really into going on walks. I think there's actually going to be a meet and greet later this week. Could just be the pickup we need. Could be just the pick-me-up we need with everything that's been going on. Stella may be fond of him, but I certainly didn't vote for that beast. Talk to animals. Gretchen doesn't seem to care for him. Alright, I know you've joked about it a couple of times, but now I'm actually starting to believe you can understand her. Gretchen absolutely can't stand Mayor Jimmy. Oh, hey. Morning, Stella. Same to you, Josh. Speak of the devil. We were just talking about you. Coming from Stella's, huh? Did you all have a slumber party? Sorry, y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop to chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Gesture that you'll catch up with Avery and Sybil. Gesture that you'll catch up. I want to catch up with Avery and Sybil. You gesture towards Avery and Sybil and give Stella a thumbs up. Cool. See you soon. Bye, Stella. Huh. She always has time to chat. I don't know if that's the voice I gave him earlier, but it's the voice he has now. Did something happen last night? Oh, Stella and Josh just got up to a bit of trouble, that's all. Not my place to share. Well, since it's your place to share, right, Josh? If Stella didn't want to say anything, then I'm not going to say anything either. I got traumatized, I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Nosy much? I hardly know you. We just got some really good footage is all. Now that is juicy. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner when he can fix you up some of Sybil's new blend and try to calm your nerves? It's Changa, lemon balm. I wonder if it does wonders to relieve stress and tension. And if you want to spill the beans on about what happened... Oh, and if you want to spill the beans on about what happened, I'm all ears. Anyways, it's up to you. See you around, Josh. See you, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I think I might have done Avery's lines in Sybil's voice. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you've encountered last night. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you're holding up. Please, don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. What aren't you telling us? You're awfully relaxed given everything you told us last night. Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play. I've shared what I know about the Ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need attending to. Stay safe, Josh, and God bless. Well, that was very lackluster reason to leave Stella. Stella said you had some time to kill before she finished setting up. Let's swing by the diner, I guess. You head toward the diner. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Oh, we're not being the crazy psychopath that walks into a building and just starts talking nonsense. We'll talk with Avery. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, when he sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might be needing this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound a pen makes? Wait. Pen. Like pig pen. Are you kidding me? How was I supposed to guess that? I don't know. Why you even bother with these things? They just kind of frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku. When he leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, what the hell really happened last night? You can tell me. I won't judge. What if you don't believe me? I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. You hesitantly take a sip of your tea. It tastes like you're drinking mold that someone tried to unsuccessfully spruce up with lemon balm. It tastes healthy. Take another sip. The flavor is strong and slightly unpleasant, but something that tastes this bad must be good for you. Whoa, color me impressed. Not a lot of folks take to chaga so quickly. Alright, let's tell Avery about last night. You share everything, glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. Monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. How exciting. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned something about going out to the woods to look for someone. Must have been Duke. They seemed so disconnected from it. I figured it couldn't be very serious, but wow. I mean, I understand why they're suspicious of me. Small town cops not knowing how to do it. What if the cops are in on it? I don't know how, but they're just so unconcerned. It's suspicious. I don't know. They come in here most days and they've always just seemed bored to me. The worst they usually have to deal with around here is property disputes. I don't think they're used to actual emergencies. At least that's how it's been as long as I've lived here. I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte, gosh, 3 years ago now. Maybe a little more. I've lost track. Aunt Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass up on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folk grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be a part of. I have. Why'd you leave Charlotte? If you don't mind me asking. Nah, it's cool. I was having some issues with my folks about my education, which, wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and place to stay, and the rest is history. Do you regret moving here? I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. I get it. I've felt out of place the whole time I've been here. Folks on the whole have been plenty friendly, but life here is so different than what I'm used to. It's hard to explain, but I just don't feel like I belong. Exactly. There are worse ways to be, but I'm not sure I'll ever entirely feel like I belong here. Let me know if you happen across any leads. I'm not going to tell you to get out of here. We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Aw man, looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Chaga's had a chance to start working its magic. Diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. We have not been to the general store. Let's hit up the general store. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. If I wanted to buy chips or something, do I talk to you, or... He sighs. I guess, yeah. Kanika decided to skip work today, so of course, whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips, I don't care. I'm paying for my chips. I insist. I'm not ringing you up. Take him or leave him. Wouldn't that be stealing? If Kanika cares about running this place right, she can hire someone else and let me live my life. We make most of our money on bulk orders anyways. A bag of chips doesn't make a difference. No. I'm good. Thanks. Have it your way. You're not gonna talk to me, are you? Hi, I'm Josh. I just got into town yesterday. Yeah, I know. My mom told me. I feel like I'm not gonna need a voice for him. I don't know if he's gonna be involved very much here. He's not gonna talk, but... do you know how to get to the mines? Maps are free. Oh, there we go. You take a map of the town. The mines are a couple of miles away, but you now have the power to visit your cousin of your own free will. Okay. What's your name? Miles. Perfect. What you doing on your phone? Games? You probably haven't heard of them. Alright. Let's just see what happens. You should get out of town. There's monsters in the woods. You've been talking to my mom too much. See you, Miles. Miles doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Productive visit. Ooh, I could go visit. No. No. Stella. It's the Stella playthrough. Tabby will probably die, but it's the Stella playthrough. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelving. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh, hey, you made it. Shush Stella and point at all the books before heading over to her table. We don't want to make her mad. It would be funny, but I would mean it as a joke, but I never know if the games mean it as a joke. You head over to Stella's table and settle in. Glad you found the place. Hey Josh, you look tired. My goodness, whatever happened to common decency? You can't go around telling someone they look unwell. You look marvelous, Josh. I'm not gonna snitch on Miles, whatever. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm pretty amped up, actually. I've never done Scooby-Doo before. I'm still amped up on adrenaline, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Some creepy old guy with a real estate scheme and a bad costume is at least a little more than believable than monsters and curses. Wouldn't that be a relief? And if Josh's antics are anything to go by, we've already got our talking dog. I do so wish you could understand me, Stella. Anyway, I don't have a voice for her, but I feel like I'm gonna need one. Anyway, I guess we should get started. Oh my god, more voices! Oh, I'm over my head. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Hey, I'm Josh, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral. I am so sorry if these voices don't stay consistent. Oh, I should have known you were Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, chief librarian and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built the library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of the kids around here get to grow up with, but they don't know how they... Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here got to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind, but speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalind around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I want to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot, and it's practically a magnet for young people. Even honor students aren't free from its call. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalind when she gets home. Kids are smarter than you think. She could take care of herself. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. That's so. Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on in the woods. That's actually why we came here today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They apparently show up around places on the brink of disaster, and they kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Does it ring a bell? Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try to figure out what sort of disaster this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Aw, you don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old gal. Well, ain't you the sweetest thing on two legs? Gretchen inhales the soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar, but I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on in the woods. Whatever's out there in the woods has been brutalizing the local wildlife. It's be true. I don't think it's safe. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble. And we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Josh, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know that her dad's worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks? Got our books? Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. History of Scarlet and the coal mines. No, we'll do some work. Do Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodman's leader. I feel like we gotta start with the coal mines, right? Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to the bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet Estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the death of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Do some more reading. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of the 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during the tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particularly ruthlessness for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started in a simple log cabin built by Silas on his own 2 hands, occupied by his family of 10, Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. Appalachian folk monsters. A few entries catch your eyes. Large cat-like creature. Cave-dwelling creatures primarily known for causing mischief. Tommyknockers, maybe? A small creature with a long tail, wide yellow eyes. Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Let's look up the Wampus Cat. That's what. Often linked to the Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus Cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down, and by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wild cat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunter of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Talipo. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with its hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this'll have to do," he said to his dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. That's a big tail if it filled them both up. Sorry, distracted. The hunter crawled into bed satisfied, and his dog curled at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across the wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been. And in the gloom, he saw 2 big, yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Talipo," a high, hoarse voice cracked from the darkness. "Oh, my bad. Go away," he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. I want my telepole, the creature growled again. I'll get my dog after you, the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. I want my telepole. Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out toward the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney, standing alone in the woods. You close the book and put it back. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. All right. If we're going to start with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disaster as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Let's look at looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Oh! Keat! Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Almost on instinct, Stella slams her book shut. Ah, hey Pixel! You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper. Oh, you might want to rip up your book. He loves it. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Pixel, my dear friend, it's been too long. How have you been? Hungry. Did Stella bring any of the good stuff? Huh. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Aw, yeah, snack time. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. I can't do the voices. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. Let's talk to some animals. Hey Pixel, what do you think about the monsters we saw in the woods? I'm an indoor cat. I don't know nothing about no woods. I just hang out in the library, especially now that our house got haunted. Pixel says your house is haunted. What's up with that? Haunted? Wait, Pixel said... So it's true then? Yes, at least I think it is. There isn't any other explanation. Josh is either psychic or he can talk to animals. It's a long story. No comment. We've been living in the library for a little bit. It's been... What voice is Pixel? I gotta decide now. It's been great. Way more snacks, way more scritches. He seems fancy. Except sometimes there's too much scritches. Hold up. What kind of hauntings are we talking about here? Unexplained noises? Objects appearing in strange and unfamiliar places? Ah, Oscar, don't get her hopes up like that. Oh, nothing like that, sorry. The floor in Rosalind's bedroom just keeps seeping blood, and I've seen a strange figure in the hallway a couple of times. Nothing? Wait, you've seen a full body apparition? Can I see it? Stella, how many times have you gone on ghost hunts and been tricked by shadows? You know what it's going to be. But what if it's an actual ghost? I'm with Kanika, no. It's worth looking into. Y'all are more than welcome to check it out, maybe tomorrow night. Yes, we'll be there. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend an evening. Can't wait to get spooked by some creaky floorboards. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander the library? Why don't you mind your own business? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? You decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I better get back to the shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything. Stella, what was you saying about it? No. Do you think there's a cult here? Man, any luck with Rosalina? Huh, not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'd probably head out once y'all done, check on our usual haunts. What were you saying about nuclear incidents? You were talking about that Goldsboro thing, right? Yeah, apparently in the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs. Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the 2 bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in a tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. At that time, government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. After 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. Right, it's conventional explosive disintegrating in midair, but most of the nuclear material was made unrecoverable by flooding. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. I'm sorry, I didn't. Did you say buried it? Do y'all need something dug up? Because if so, I'm a gal. I'm butchering. You're gonna have to deal with my accents. They're awful. They're so awful. I don't think disarming nuclear bombs is part of our skill set, so the nuke made somewhere else. Why would there be so many ditchlings here? I don't think disarming a nuclear bomb is part of our skill sets. Absolutely not. Also, Goldsboro is almost 400 miles from here. I think we're good. I'm just saying, you never know with radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you, it doesn't make monsters. And 60 years of a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. You never know. It could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up. I've missed this. Do you think there's a cult here? Those cops were awfully suspicious, almost like they're trying to cover it up. Ditchlings were actually noticed doing some weird ritual. Maybe the ditchlings were like summoned. Those cops were awfully suspicious last night. Really weird combination of being dismissive and trying to pin things on me. I don't know, it just feels like a cover-up. Yeah, that was pretty bad, but I'm not sure they really have it in them to be part of a cult. Definitely don't think they're capable of putting in the effort. Talk about veins, talk about Silas, talk about the veins of Scarlet. So about the coal mines here, Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevice. A union-busting mine collapse from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. What happened after the mine collapsed? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There was not a whole lot written about the past century here. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk. You guys really seem to have a bone to pick with Charles Shaw. That's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People tend to spit when they hear about your name. He got run out of town on a rail, you know? And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural of it over on the far wall. He got off easy, if you ask me. Maybe the ditchlings are here to foretell another collapse? What if the ditchlings are coming from the mine? What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town? the mines could also be too obvious. It may be a red herring, but we'll find out. What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town? Wayne seems sick. That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night, called out Josh by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe there's some sort of parasite down in the mines. Maybe it infected Wayne, and maybe Wayne infected the local wildlife. Huh. Yeah, that could work. So, Silas Scarlet. Rich guy in the south, I should have known it would be pretty. Product of a different time, who knows what future generations will think when they look back at us. Wow, talk of self-made seems... He seems a terrible person, but I don't see what he has to do with bad omens or creatures in the woods. Silas seems like a terrible person, but I don't see what that has to do with bad omens or creatures in the woods. I agree, we're talking about ancient history here. Yeah, we probably have better leads. It never hurts to have historical context. So, the Appalachian folk monsters. Do you think the ditchlings are Tommyknockers? Do you think Wayne is a Tommyknocker? I already forgot what the Tommyknocker was. Oh, that was the person breaking down the supports. Do you think Wayne is a Tommyknocker? Maybe he's the ghost of a dead miner. There's something seriously wrong with that guy. We should definitely look into it, but I don't think he's a ghost. Yeah, ghosts tend to be a specific place, though maybe he's haunting the whole town. He's not a ghost because ghosts aren't real. I've also seen him, touch stuff. Wampus cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. Voice like a woman crying out somewhere between person-sized and cat-sized. Definitely. They are 100% mountain lions. Kanika, you know there are no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Oh, Stella, one of these days you'll trust us. But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. Those legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank, then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out. And now here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of a Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real, and I will literally eat it, I promise. I'm holding you to it. My mom used to tell me that Taily-Po story back when I was little. I can't believe I forgot that one. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Taily-Po. The one that left after the thing did whatever it did. Now that I know it's just because chimneys don't burn down when wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Taily-Po. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. Let's move on. We should check out the mines. I feel like I'm being drugged to the mines for something obvious. I should go somewhere else. What do y'all think? There's an awful lot of mine-related stuff in my notes. Maybe we should be our next stop. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you're suggesting we go question some of the miners, right? We are not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Right? Yeah, totally, 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. I promise, Neeks, we're just going to question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it. Maybe Tabitha can help us out. Finally, the opportunity I've been looking to get to know Tabitha. I'm sure Tabitha's going to love that we're snooping around. Maybe Tabitha can help us out. Ha! No! I don't think she'd be super jazzed to see any of us snooping around the mines. I can't imagine what she'd do if we actually bothered her while she's trying to run the place. She does get a little grumpy when she's at work. She gets grumpier at work. I'm pretty sure she's pissed if is that girl's baseline level of existence. Chatting over dinner might be a better way to get to know her. If you're okay eating boxed mac and cheese. We can sneak around the mine, no problem. She won't even know we're there. Look at us, going out on the caper together. I miss this. I missed it too. Though there is something missing. Reese! I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. Reese is turning into Wayne! You know, we could just stop over and surprise him. He seems super excited to meet Josh. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. See you, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep y'all posted. Okay. I think that's the end of part 2. Getting out on our adventure. Going to go see what the mines have to offer. And meeting Reese, who, calling it now, is infected. He's turning into Wayne. He is a Wayne, but just not quite there yet. If you've made it this far, thank you for suffering through my awful, awful accents and voices. There's too many characters. I don't have that big of a voice range. I'm going to have to start coming up and getting more creative, but either way, if you are here, thank you. Hopefully you can like and subscribe if you've put up with me for this long. Either way, hopefully I will see you in the next one for part 3. And thank you again. Bye.